Hello and welcome back to the YouTube channel. MFJJ here with PodiumArcher.com. I'm talking about a little small controversy, I guess. When Bowtech's bows got released, the SR 350 didn't quite hit what they said it was supposed to, and they revised and came out with a different module. They also sent me a bow that they tested, and I want to say they said it hit 347 on their chronograph. So I have that bow here, and I have the bow that we tested originally with the new module on it. So we're going to see what kind of difference we get. I'm going to refresh for all of you what we got originally. Was 332 average in performance and 321 average in comfort. For the sake of this video, we're just going to test the original bow we had in performance, and then we can shoot the other one in both. We also did leave a limb-driven fall-away on the new bow without a whisker biscuit, because you're probably losing 1.5 feet there, to try to get as much velocity out of this bow as we can, to be as fair as we can. They asked me nicely if I would do that, and I'm sure all of you would like to see how much of a significant difference there is between it. So I just want to make sure that you guys see what the bow they originally sent does differently, so you know what the module change really did, as opposed to the other bow that they sent that they say is within spec, which they are acknowledging that they are not hitting 350 with the bow. They're hitting 347. So it's really a 347 bow according to them. So let's keep that in mind when we're looking at these velocities and these changes. All in all, I know there's a whole lot of probably negative about the velocity that came out, but so in any event, we have some changes to these bows to try and see what kind of difference we get. I'm going to refresh you one more time. Performance was 332, which was one of the faster bows we tested. So being fair to the equality between all brands, it was still a pretty fast bow, but they're pretty convinced that there was something awry with the bow they sent me to come up with those different velocities. So let's run through the chronograph. I'm not going to shoot the bows for feel because we already did that. I'm just going to shoot through velocity. So long-winded reply short, this is simply our revision with the changes that they made to try to see what it actually did on the exact bow we tested. So here we go. And at the end of this video, we will publish all the different statistical information that we found. So if you're trying to like make notes and write this down, if you just wait till the end, we'll have it on for like 15 seconds. You can write it all down at one time if you want to have actual, factual information of what we tested. So stay to the end. That's my little, I've got to get you to hang around all the way to the end of the video. So here we go. So this is our original bow that we tested. Oh, we should scale this. Check the scale weight. $71.2. So being fair, we should probably turn that down a little. Trim that down a half. See what we get. So. Try this again. $70 on the dot. You got that? Okay, so that is exactly 70.0. Pretty sure that's about as fair as you can be. Here we go. So this was 332 last time. The valley on this feels shorter. Like quite a bit shorter, like it wants to go forward really hard. Now mind you, that's at 30 inches. It's probably not going to feel like that at 29 or 28, but 333. Oh, yeah, that's really short in the valley. That's 330. $334. So maybe it's a foot faster on the bow we tested originally. So that was the original one, which they asked if I would send this back so they can look at it. So this bow is going to go away, but we got a foot different with the new mods in it, in performance. All right. Here is the bow they sent me. Just to check here. $72.5, 2.5 pounds heavy. See what that does. $70.5. I'll say that's close enough. So it's a 1/2 pound heavy. And if this doesn't get close to the velocity that they said, I will crank it all the way up and just see what that does, just in case maybe there's some scale variance or something that we're coming up with. $337. $335. $334. So that was average of 336. So let's crank that up all the way and see if that happens to give you that variance. $72. So we're gonna try to say, for the sake of argument, which mind you, this has a tag on it. This is so scribbled, hang on. It says it peaks at 71 pounds. So I don't know how they're weighing that, because that's more than 71 pounds. And there's still a tiny bit of room left in here, so I don't know. Might have some draw weight variance causing a little bit of a snafu. That's 339. $341. $338. So I'll give you 340, and then we're going to operate under the assumption that maybe this is 2 pounds light, maybe. I doubt it, but for the integrity of being able to compare everything that we've done, I'm not going to change that out, and I'm not going to change that out. Although I will say, I get a lot of questions about, oh, his chronograph must be way slow. His chronograph must be way slow. I have 2 of them. I've tested them both, and they're within a foot. So either every chronograph I own is slow, or maybe it's something greater. Couldn't tell you. We will go through and measure a couple of these and just make sure that there's not a variance greater. But in general, that bow is now the fastest bow we've tested in here. So whatever changes they made from that to that originally did gain them a little bit of velocity, and maybe the one I tested happens to be a little slow in comparison, but I try to randomly grab a bow out of what's sent to me and test that random bow, so you're getting a fair analysis of what an average random bow does. Maybe you get a slow one, maybe not. But it wasn't even that slow in comparison. It was just a lot slower than they said it was, and a lot slower than they said it was. And the reality of that is they all do it. So if you really don't like that, maybe there's a need for some, I don't know if it's the ATA that sets those standards, or whatnot. Maybe we need an independent test in their facilities of these products so they can be held accountable for what they're doing. And mind you, I'm not pointing out one brand over another. They're all guilty, all of them. So I'm not saying this one's bad and this one's good. Your velocities are all off across the board. So let's just accept that. And that's the world that we live in. And that's where videos like this tend to help people make a fairer decision, because somebody actually tested it that isn't represented by the factory and doesn't have any reason to have bias one way or another, which is all I'm trying to provide. I sell every major brand, so I don't need to pump up one and turn down another for any reason or other. But that bow is definitely faster, and that is the fastest bow we've tested. So, kudos for making the fastest bow that we've tested this year. It's still 10 feet slower than, what you're publishing. And I'm giving you the benefit of the doubt that it's, maybe my scale's a little light. But that's 72 pounds, and according to my scale, 72 pounds in performance to get to 340, which your bow's 346. That's within 6, and that's pretty close if you take that into account. If you don't take that into account, it's within 10, and you'll get my stamp of approval for 10, because I rarely find ones that aren't within 10. They're almost always outside of that parameter. So you're doing the same stuff that everybody else is, and I think that's as fair as we can go, unless there's some accountability or being held equally to everybody to have to be honest. So that's my 2 cents. Tell me what you think. Get down in the comments. Once again, am I a moron? Do I know what I'm doing? Am I doing a great job, a horrible job? Want to see this, want to see that, want to look for this video, want to look for that video, show me how to do this. Give me all the ideas, guys. It always helps. Head on over to podiumarcher.com and buy something if you get a chance, if you want to help support what we're doing, because that is our business. So, but more than anything, guys, thanks for checking this out. And the fact that I got called about this and asked to make another one simply shows that the voice is getting bigger and more people are seeing it, or they probably wouldn't have called me. So that's because of you guys, because you keep looking and you keep coming back and you keep talking about it. So thank you for that. Catch you on the next one.